Hello and welcome to Commodities Landscape. Today we are talking about FCRA, the next step ahead. Remember, the Cabinet and the Standing Parliamentary Committee have cleared the bill on FCRA. It only needs to be now cleared by the parliamentary session when it starts in winters. The market sentiment, of course, is on the higher side, and we have a panel here for you who would tell you on what FCRA means, why so many years has it taken for it to come, and how will the markets change when it does get implemented. Let's introduce our guests on the show then. We are now joined by Mr. Madan Sabnawis. He is Chief Economist, Care Ratings. He joins us in Mumbai. Joining us also in Mumbai is Mr. R. Ramaseshan, who is Managing Director and CEO, NCDEX. Joining us in Delhi is Mr. Ramesh Abhishek. He is Chairman, Forward Market Commission. We also are now joined by Mr. K.V. Thomas. He is Minister of Food and Consumer Affairs in Delhi. We also are joined by Mr. P.K. Sabharwal, who is President, CPAI, and he is also in Delhi joining us. Mr. Ramaseshan, let's start with you first. And after being deferred twice, the Cabinet and the Standing Parliamentary Committee have finally cleared the FCRA bill. How do you think it will change the Indian commodity markets if it actually does get implemented after the Parliament clears it in the winter session?
Well, we hope that it will get implemented. And please remove the word "if" from your sentence. I see the bill ushering in three important changes. The first one would be that the regulator would be armed with adequate powers to monitor the market. The regulator is now currently functioning as a department. The regulator will become autonomous, something equivalent to what the SEBI and other institutions are. So that will give the regulator a much better hold over the market to monitor the market. That's one important change. The second one would be we would be having better instruments, new instruments to trade on. Currently the markets are doing just with futures instruments. We should be able to get options and other instruments which would be good for the market. The market has matured now in the last 10 years. It's ready for these kind of instruments. That's the second important change. The third important change would be we should be seeing a good amount of participation from funds, banks and other institutions which will deepen the market. So the commodities market is bound to grow much more than what it is now when the bill becomes an act.
Mr. Sabnawis, how would you look at it? Because right now, many, amongst many of the numbers, another thing is price discovery, the price volatility, the participation that might increase into the markets as well. Is there any number? How do you foresee it going forward?
In fact, first we'll have to make sure that this thing actually goes through the Parliament, because we've been hearing of the FCRA amendments for the last 8 years, ever since commodity futures trading was resurrected. And I think this particular market has been through a very checkered phase where we've had a number of bans being imposed, ostensibly motivated by political factors. And those political factors, to my mind, are still very much there today. And very often we've seen a number of political parties, even a part of the coalition or maybe ex-coalition as of now, openly saying that inflation today is being caused by futures trading in commodities. So therefore I would keep my fingers crossed until we really get through the Parliament, because that's the major stumbling block. Because all through the last 8 years we've seen that every time there's progress made in this market, we have some kind of an element, political element, coming in between and sort of putting brakes as far as the development of this market is concerned. So we'll have to first wait and see if it does go through the Parliament, which as Mr. Ramaseshan was saying, we just hope it does happen.
We'd rather take the if out, as he said.
We take the if out and say, okay, assuming that it does happen, maybe not immediately, but at some point of time, I think there's a lot of hope for this particular market, because we've seen the first phase being fairly stimulating as far as overall markets are concerned, and we have really reached the threshold of starting on the second phase, for which we do require certain regulatory support, which the FCRA amendment bill will definitely provide.
It absolutely will add more teeth to the FMC as well. Mr. Abhishek, would want to get your comparison as well with the global markets vis-a-vis the Indian markets on what kind of a participation and instruments that they have there and what we have here.
As you are aware, Manisha, our markets are pretty restricted at the moment, with a lot of institutions like banks and FIIs are not able to participate. So to that extent, we don't have the kind of participation and liquidity and the depth that is seen in many global markets. So that is definitely a challenge for the market.
Well, this is about India really, Mr. Ramaseshan. When we compare it to the global markets, I mean, there the participation is on the much higher side. How have you read the regulations and participation there vis-a-vis in the Indian markets, and how much do you think we still have a place to go?
We have a long way to go. Though India has had trading in derivative instruments and commodities, but in a formal manner, in a manner that we are seeing now, it's just about 10 years old. We have a long way to go.
Mr. Thomas, how would the FCRA bill change the Forward Market Commission, the regulator, and what would be the ministry's role then in the commodity derivatives?
Now, see, we are giving more strength and teeth to the FMC. Now, for everything, they have to get our advice. But once this bill is being passed, then only policy matters are decided by the government. All other matters have to be decided by the FMC.
Mr. Sabharwal, getting you in the conversation as well, and the first reason why the futures market was started was that there was a lot of trading in any case happening. So this was to bring in the unofficial trading out and make it more regularized and online. What's your scene or what's your sense on that?
Certainly, yes, I am of the opinion that it will certainly, with the option trading being introduced, it will certainly increase the liquidity in the market. There will be better price discovery. There will be more hedging opportunities, and as Mr. Ramaseshan very rightly said that regulators having more powers, we may even able to curb the drabba trading, which is very much prevalent in all parts of the country, and we, the market participants, will be very happy in the sense that we, like SEBI, we will also be registered with the Forward Market Commission, the members. And not only that, the derivative transactions can even be eligible for tax exemptions also. So these are the things which will certainly add to the commodities futures market.
Mr. Sabharwal, we talked about the farmers. We also talked about how the exchanges and FMC are working towards it. But how do you see it as a participant? What does the FCRA bring on table for the intermediaries, for perhaps the trading members, clients as well?
We are of the opinion that with the introduction of the options, the volume will increase multifold, which will certainly be helping the market participants. And as the hedging opportunities will be there more, even up to the level of farmers or mandis, they will, today many people who are afraid of on account of the futures market, that with options being introduced and with the new products also there, and with the bigger players like banks, mutual fund, insurance companies, or the corporates coming, or even the government corporate houses will also be participating much more frequently.